Good to go? All right. Even Audacity, Ramsey? Looking good? Okay, everybody. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 2 of The Movement.
The movement.
We got Hamza here. We usually got a whole audience and the whole crowd in the building today. But so far today, it's only going to be Hamza and myself. And of course, we have our guest today, who is Osama Almathil. He is our guest. Yeah, go ahead and give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
He is the one of the owners, him and his brother Hamoud, of Sidr Bees. It's a local honey company, but they also can deliver all across the country. We're going to dive into all of the honey industry. Looking forward to a great show today. Shout out to Osama for coming today. And he's also one of our sponsors, so we're going to dive into that as well. So shout out to Sidr Bees. Shout out to Osama. For those that are watching, again, this is Season 3, Episode 2 of the Movement Podcast. We go live every Saturday at noon, having conversations with people in the community that are doing great things in the community, man. And I'm so glad I got a chance to meet a person like Osama because, you know, he has already opened doors for us, you know, just for the show in general, supporter. And, you know, man, and you know, we love to hear stories, and we're going to hear about his story and his journey about coming to America and why they decided to open up a honey business and everything else in between. Before we dive into that, though, first, be sure to subscribe to all of our pages. You have YouTube, Oz Media. You have Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under Oz Media. You can listen to the show later on Apple and Spotify podcasts under Oz Media. If you want to call in, the number is 313-306-1750. Again, 313-306-1750. Feel free to call in. I have the phone right here next to me. We can answer it if you wanted to have a conversation. Again, shout out to our sponsors, the Balkan House, Juice Box, Qahwah House, BC Adhesives, Specialty Medical Center, Hanley International Academy, and Sidr Bees. All right, so shout out to Sidr Bees, Ramsey. We're going to start off with them and give them their shout out. So we're going to run their ad, and then we're going to officially get the show on the road and hear about Osama's story. So shout out to Sidr Bees, and let's go ahead and get that rolling, Rams. All right, Yusuf, it looks like we have a little dilemma in our hands. We have this deliciously smelling sabaya right in front of us, but it looks like we're missing one important thing.
Yeah, it looks like we're missing some asal, some honey.
And you know where the best place to go to for honey? That is Sidr Bees. Sidr Bees is a remarkable company that stands at the forefront of the honey industry. With an unwavering commitment to quality, being authentic, and sustainability, Sidr Bees has carved its name as a trusted provider of premium honey products. The company's dedication to preserving the purity of honey is evident in every jar they produce. Sidr Bees sets a standard that goes beyond taste. It's a brand that captures nature's essence and brings it to the discerning consumers who appreciate the true goodness that honey offers. Sidr Bees is not just a honey company, it's a testament to the beauty of nature and the passion to deliver excellence in every drop. All right, there you go. That's our ad for Sidr Bees. I hope you enjoy the assignment. You know, we had to make sure we give you guys a shout out. And so anytime, by the way, there's an ad, I just wanted you to listen to it to make sure you're okay with it. But future reference, we can always have a conversation with each other too because they're listening to the ad. But like I said, Osama's right here. Ramsey, make sure you got the camera on him right now. Shout out to Osama. He's in the building today. We want to hear everything, Osama. So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, I know you didn't just immediately dive into the honey industry. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you did up until the point where you're at now?
Gotcha. First I want to say ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي.
Amen.
Second, I want to say thank you to Brother Omar and Aussie Media for this opportunity. You know, we privileged and we honored to be here and support what you guys doing because it is amazing to see our people doing stuff like this.
Thank you.
Third, I came to the country in 2013, so technically the end of this month will be my 10th year anniversary.
MashaAllah, go ahead and give that a round of applause, man. 10 year anniversary, yeah.
Yeah. I all my siblings born raised here. Me and my younger brother Hamoud born raised back home, and we came in 2013. Like he said, you came from different culture, different background, but we were lucky enough that we have brothers and support system that was able to give us a guide or give us a better view of how things are. You know what I mean? So I think I was lucky to have that. You know, compared to other people that comes have no support system, just come hiving from one culture to another, and they lose it.
Who was your support system?
My brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shout out to all my brothers and
Yeah.
my mom. They were always there for me, from the minute we came here till today, till before I enter the show, they always making sure I'm top of the stuff. They always advise me. So that was a big, I think, gave me a different perspective because I came to New York City.
Yeah.
So, in New York City, our people known for owning, delis, which is amazing, But I was trying to take a different route, I'm like, we in America, there's more opportunity to take one route, So that was when my brother like, yeah, you can do it, just focus, whatever you want to do. So since I was young back home, I always loved community work. I always loved to do new things, whether it's in sport, whether in religion, whatever, things I can do for my community. So I started as a volunteer in the Islamic centers. I was just a volunteer there, and then I grew up my record to be a youth director, and then to be a program coordinator, and then I just navigated through the community work from the Islamic side to the sport to politic to different things, but the main goal was I want to talk about back home. I was, because I left in the beginning of the war, so I seen how things are shifting. So I'm like, I'm lucky, but there's millions of other kids or youth not lucky. So how can I support? And when I came here, I'm like, what can I do to support? Yeah, everybody, every Yemeni, every immigrant send money back home to their friends, family. But how can we do something more than just sending a couple, hundreds to the ones that we know? What about the ones that have zero, siblings or family outside the country, and they have no source of income because everything, it's in a crisis. So I worked with different or non-profit organizations and just advocating for Yemen, telling the story of Yemen for a couple years, 5-6 years. I was just trying I used to go to high schools, universities, used to do, in the street, in different fairs, talk about the crisis in back home. And people, you'll see a reaction of people like, yeah, they sad, and that's at least, it's a good thing. And then I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. What can I do next, to support more? I'm advocating now. There's a lot of awareness about it, but I want to support more. So that's when I think the honey came in.
And then that's where you're at right now. We'll dive into the honey more. But let me ask you this question. How old were you when you came here to America?
12.
Okay. So did you go to school here? What school did you go to?
13. Yeah, 13. I went to the international high school.
Oh, okay.
In New York City.
In New York City?
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome, man. And so now you're what? You're only what?
24.
24? MashaAllah, man.
Yeah.
Very young man, but the guy has head on straight.
Alhamdulillah.
Let me ask you this question. I know this is going to like ruffle some feathers for some people. Do you think people who are coming from Yemen that come to America, are they more ready and like they become more like adult ready than people who live here their whole lives and kind of get spoon fed and, they're pretty much, used to the Western lifestyle, and so they go to school, then after school they might start off slow. Like, you jumped right into the business industry, the entrepreneurship. As soon as, how long has Sidr Bees been around now? For a couple of years?
Yeah, 2 years when it's officially, yeah.
Yeah, so you jumped right in.
Before I used to do other things, but it's, hustle,
Yeah.
hustles.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Do you think the hustle is, people that are coming from Yemen, they have a little more hustle than people that live in America their whole life?
We could debate whether it's yes or no, but I mean, I've seen a lot of people here too, born, raised here, they real hustlers. So I think it's the family.
Yeah.
And of course, coming from Yemen, it does give you a different perspective, because you come and there's so many things here, like,
Yeah.
oh my, I could do it, like, compared to, like you said, the ones that are born here, is like they grow up, they never felt, oh, this is hard to reach, it's like everything is so easy here. Back home, even to upload this video will take you days,
Yeah.
to be able to do that. So I think it's an yes and no
Yeah.
at the same time. You know what I mean? Some people, they come, they see the opportunity and just close-minded.
Yeah.
You see them been here many years and doing nothing. You know what I mean? So it's not necessary they real hustlers, but big majority, they really come and try
Hungry.
to use every advantage and every opportunity they have to elevate themselves for a better life. So,
And for a better life for their families too, like you were saying, because they all kind of support their families. Hamza T is here, like I mentioned. Want to make sure that Hamza T is involved in this conversation as well. Big Hams, look like he just got out of bed and drove right here, huh? Alhamdulillah ala salama ya Hamza. Hamza, what are your thoughts on the question I just asked him? Do you feel like people that come from Yemen have a little bit more hustle and more pep in their step than people that live in America, or do you think, like he said, based on families?
Yeah, it's a lot on your like who you look at, your families, how much they push you. Some families won't push you out. They'll just they'll tell you to do what you do. But if you come from Yemen, yeah, you came, like, it was hard. Living over there is hard. So, and you come back and there's a bunch of things you see new. And there's a bunch of new opportunities. Like, I never had this. I might as well take advantage of it. I feel like it's more of when you come from Yemen, I think you'll be more hustler.
Yeah.
Like 60-40.
60-40,
Yeah,
you
I'll
give
give it
them the slight edge. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So yeah, definitely. I mean, like we said, we're here with Osama, and we're here to talk about the honey industry, and so looking forward to hearing more about it. So I know you kind of touched on it. You said you pretty much stopped where you're at, which is right now, as you guys are running the business, Sidr Bees. Tell us about it. Can you tell us what the company is? What kind of asal is the word, right? As honey. What kind of honey do you guys produce? What are the benefits of honey? So everything about honey, like in Sidr Bees and what you guys do. So tell us a little bit about it.
sure. So the idea, like I mentioned earlier, it came from the perspective of how can I support back home constantly, non-stop, not just by talking about it, but financially too. So I'm a big honey guy, coffee guy. It's in our blood. Our Yemenis, we're the birthplace for coffee and honey, and without a doubt, no matter what, back then or now, we are the lead, country for these high quality of products. So I'm like, okay, I love honey. My family, we love honey. How can we bring it and tell the story behind it? Because let's a little bit go back. All beekeepers all over the world, they're facing a lot of difficulties now with, especially having raw honey, organic honey.
Why is that? What's the difficulty behind it?
It's
They're dying.
bees are dying, the climate change,
Yeah.
war zones, where like especially good honey comes from. A lot of these countries are war zone countries. So you have so many factors to why it's hard to have it, So we were like, okay, we gotta make sure we support people back home, by especially these beekeepers, and they don't really get their right credits, and it's a very sad thing. People be like, oh, if you're a beekeeper, you're making millions of dollars. Some years, I know friends, they are beekeepers. Some years they don't even make $1. They just lose money, because the weather, maybe the bees don't work the proper way, they die. So many like small details behind the scene that people don't understand, where these beekeepers, they end up with zero money.
Yeah.
They just have investing money into, and they end up not having anything. So it's because it's not a manufacturing type of a business. You're not producing, you have your machines, you're just producing, bringing bees and let them eat sugar or artificial syrup, and they produce you whatever volume you want. It's just, this is subhanAllah, it's a raw honey. So the bees know their job. They go, pollinate from, which is our famous tree, Sidr tree or whatever. But for Yemen, it's, the best one is Sidr.
And that's
Go-
how I came up with the name, by the way.
Yes. So because the name, it's already big in the market. Big bee scientists and people that know honey. When the minute you say Sidr honey, they're like, oh, the best honey. You know?
Yeah.
So that was, yeah, also the, we were like, it's easy for
Yeah.
people to be familiar with. And that's where we focusing on, is bringing the Sidr Bees. And it's a very challenging, and there's a lot of bad honey in the market. So a lot of people have trust issue now with like, is this real? Is this fake? How can I know it's real? People will like tell you, put a lighter and see if there's smoke comes out of it, and that's mean there's sugar in it, or put it in the fridge, or touch it with the sand if it's gonna, there's so many. And the actual thing is, a lot of them are myth. It's not actual true. If you do this certain actions, will tell you whether this is a real or a fake. You know what I mean? So we was at first, we're like, this is a big challenge, especially to do Yemeni honey in the country. It's a high end type of a market. It's a small, 1 pound is 150 compared if you go to the farmer here, you're getting a whole gallon for like $100. So
Yeah.
when you look into numbers, people are like, why would I go buy this honey? Especially when they don't even know the story behind it. Like, why? Yeah, it's good honey. I could taste this quality, but why would I spend that much of money? So there was so many things that we looked into, and we were like, okay, at the end of the day, we need to tell the story, to give awareness before we even sell the products. People gotta know the story before you sell them the products. And the story is, Sidr honey to Yemenis, it's not just a honey. It's who we are. Until recent years, there's certain places they will trade with the asal. They call it the liquid gold. And then when you go to Khalij, that's why a lot of Umara, they will pay top dollars, because most of our honey goes to Khalij, because they understand the value. When you king and queen, and back then, you go to visit somebody, they bring you asal.
Honey. Yeah, you bring honey for.
The high attitude of like, respect and
Yeah.
appreciation. And every house, Yemeni house, we have a special honey our moms keep, secret safe. ما حد يعرف, like nobody. That's when my guests come over. So it does mean a lot to us, So it's if you look at it from a religious perspective, it's mentioned in the Quran. But as a Sidr Bees, I want to disclose this: we don't claim any health benefit, and I'll tell you why. As a business, yeah, it's Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned in the Quran, which is 100% true. فيه شفاء, right? But I can't just use that as a way of selling the products when I don't have the backup scientists to prove it.
Yeah,
Right?
good point.
It doesn't mean if Hamza helps him with certain things, khalas is going to help you as a Umar. You know what I mean? So we trying right now to work with certain labs and certain institutions to do an actual deep study about the Asal Yemeni, because a lot of the things that we have is just decent basic studies, no actual depth studies that take a couple of years. And that's our goal, is to do that. And then I could come to you and tell you, listen, what's your age, your gender, and I could tell you, like Manuka honey, technically.
Yeah.
If you look at Manuka honey, the entire country and government, they invested heavily in the 1970s on Manuka honey. They were like, this is what could blow up our economy. And from research to everything, there's Manuka honey that costs up to $1,000. You know what I mean? So as Yemenis, I always tell people, like, we need to work together, not against each other, like, to really give awareness and do the really heavy work. Because a lot of people, they want to do the easy way, they bring whatever the asal and they just sell it, and they just claim these things and don't really think about the consequences. So as Sidr Bees, they're like, okay, we want to take that route, be the ambassadors for our country, be the ambassadors for the honey, because it's something that we feel proud of. It's a halal business. It's something that you feel good about doing. It's a challenging,
Represents the country as well that you're from.
yeah, it is a challenging business to be in if you look at it from a business perspective. Like I said, Asal, the honey business, the Yemeni, it's a very tough business to be in. It's not a day-to-day business, Even if you had the honey addicts, they will not come every single day to buy honey. They'll come day at least 2-3 weeks to get another product. And if you have a bad honey, then nobody will come. So and people like, oh, how can we trust? And honey business, like I said, having your certification, of course, that's where we are in. Alhamdulillah, working toward. Second is the aman, the trust. Most in the honey business you look into, it's there's a trust. You trust me. That's how basically works. Because if I give you something bad, then that trust will, break. You know what I mean? You're not gonna trust me anymore. So it's a very sensitive things to do, because people like, oh, I'm like, I have my cousin, I have my family back home are doing the job. I trust them. So if they're gonna fool me or do something bad, they're gonna mess up my reputation and our name too. You know what I mean? Not just, oh, it's a business, because the face of the brand, yeah, it's Sidr Bees, but it's us as, you know what I mean?
Yeah, people too.
Yeah. And
family and everybody else, and like you said, it kind of represents the country.
yeah.
So people are going, obviously your customers are not it's not just Yemeni people.
Oh yeah.
So you got customers from all around the country that are trying to order it, and you're trying to represent, literally you're trying to represent the country of Yemen in a way, trying to show people how authentic and how great the honey is. And like you said, we are known for our coffee, we are known for our honey. So that's definitely something that I understand why you guys put that pressure on yourselves. But I just want to read off like some of the health benefits that, and I know you said you don't want to say that it does, but like, is this some of the stuff that you have heard as well that honey can help with? And then you can maybe agree with me or disagree with me. So I heard that it helps, like it's like a dietary health supplement, aids digestive health, strengthens the immune system. It's like a nutrition medicine. It's good for your skin. Obviously, it's a sweetener, and it just aids with like the holistic of wellness. Like it helps with everything. Like, are these all things that you've heard that it comes with honey?
I mean, from your personal opinion as an Osama, and Sidr Bees, yes.
Exactly.
It is, and I like I said, I have customers and clients that will reach out to me and be like, oh, my son, my daughter was really sick, and I gave them a spoon, and subhanallah, you know what I mean? But like there is a lot of, like I said, it's really proven, but we just don't want to take that out until we 100% have the backup data to back up everything, you know what I mean? But like you said, it is true. That's why a lot of people are obsessed with it, and they sad some customers, because you have these certain people that will bring any type of honey and put the label of Sidr honey as a Yemeni honey, so they could sell it quick. Because once you put Sidr honey, automatic people know it's a Yemeni honey. It's the best honey. So, and once these customers, they buy it, they're like, oh my God, that's not it. Now they have problems. Like, now I don't know who to trust anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's claiming this is Sidr honey, this is honey, this is honey. And let me also say something, also what makes the Asal Yemeni unique is the tree. Sidr tree, we have trees that are like 500 years old. So you're talking about trees that been there for many years. So when the bees pollinate from, of course, the taste, the texture, the flavor, the smell will be different from any type of honey. And it's just because the bees only pollinate from one certain tree, because other bees or other honeys, usually bees will pollinate from different flowers, different trees, so they give you that mix of different, But our bees, subhanAllah, they're very strong bees too. If you look at it from the science perspective, the Yemeni bees are very tough, because they adapt to very difficult climate change and weather, especially when they go high altitude up the mountain and coming back. And it's all like mountain, there's no actual trees, just one certain tree, so they just climb up for hours just to get to that tree and come back down to, so the process of it too, it's a very tough process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, to get in. Like I said, these beekeepers, a lot of the Yemeni beekeepers we have, they still use the old methods of beekeeping, and I was in Michigan State University, they had the beekeeping convention. I went there, and I was showing them some of the pictures, and they were impressed, because they're like, this is like, nobody used this method, and this tells you a lot about this type of honey, because using the old method where there's no chemicals, no machine, no things to
It's rare.
to mix the honey or change the taste of the honey. It's a very weird type of thing. So
You mentioned Michigan State. I just want to let you know, it's my school,
Oh.
so the greatest university of all time, by the way. But this is a good time right now. I know we've been hitting you with a lot of questions. Let's take a quick break and give a shout out to a business that you have connections with, which is the Qahwah House.
oh yeah.
I heard I think you work there, and then they even get their assets sometimes from you as well.
They
So
are the OGs.
they are the OGs. So shout out to the Qahwah House, the OGs. We're going to go ahead and take a sip of our nice Qahwah House coffee, and then we will continue on learning more about the honey industry. If you're ever in need of some coffee, then you have to stop by the best place in the country. You know what that is, Yusuf?
Yeah, man, it's gotta be the Qahwah House.
It's definitely the Qahwah House. It's the first Yemeni coffee shop of its kind. You can stop by Qahwah House to try their famous Yemeni lattes, Adani shahis, mafawad, and jubani coffees. You can also stop by to try their delicious pastries, such as the Yemeni favorite sabaya, everything mini bites, and they even serve sambusas. They have locations in Michigan, New Jersey, New York, and Illinois, with more locations coming to a state near you. So no matter where you're at in the country, be sure to stop by Qahwah House and get a glimpse of what the Yemeni culture is all about. Also, don't forget to download the new Qahwah House app. You can now order your coffee and go, skipping the line entirely. It's like having your own personal barista. All right, so we are officially back. Again, shout out to Osama giving you the lowdown, man. I have to ask you this when we talk about honey, man.
Yeah.
We kind of were talking about it before the show. We don't have to use specific words because obviously we have an audience that are sometimes youth and they watch, okay? But there's a honey out there that's being used, and there was just an FDA article that came out saying that you should not use it because there's health risks, and it contains a specific ingredient in there that's unhealthy for adults' consumption. I know you kind of talked about how sometimes the honey out there, like it messes it up for the whole honey industry.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on those over-the-counter honeys that people be selling at gas stations and convenience stores? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100% against it. I've been since many years since they started really putting these honeys, whether it's FDA blacklisted or not. It's just, I think it's not the proper way, like I said, because now you putting tag into the honey as a certain product for certain things to use. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a very high risk. People don't. They be like, oh, I use it, I'm fine. It's the risk where we come after.
Yeah.
With again around honey, people are like, oh, if I get it one spoon, I'm gonna be fine. I'm like, that's not magic. These things take time. So with whether it's impacting you in a good way or a bad way, it isn't gonna show it, in the same day or the same time. It's gonna put you in a bad place, maybe in a further in the future. So, and it's sad because why taking all these, under counter, up top of the counter, these silly ways just to sell this type of honey? Do it the right way, pay whatever the fees for FDA to test and everything, and be proud and sell it in the proper way. You know what I mean? And that's not just in that honey, but in so many things now. I think it's the hunger for the money, being so obsessed that you're willing to take everything, putting people in danger. Young and adults, and it's a sad thing. You know what I mean? I'm always, like I said, been against it. People will ask me to use the Yemeni honey I'm like, nope, we'll never do that.
Yeah.
That's not, what is it for? You know what I mean?
And you lose pride in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you lose pride in what you're doing if that's what you start to veer away from it. But obviously people are just money hungry and they don't care about the quality of the product. They just care about the quantity of what it's bringing in for the company. And when you do that, but I can see how you said it's messing it up though for the whole honey industry, because people don't know what to believe anymore. Like they might think that this $10 honey is just no different than the quality of Sidr Bees honey, and they mess it up for everybody realistically.
Yeah.
So I can see that. So at Sidr Bees. By the way, we have Mazen and Aghbari said best honey in the U.S. So shout out to Mazen. We appreciate him for tuning in. You guys pride yourself delivering the best quality honey, so you really care about the product you deliver to consumers. Why? Like, why not? Why not sell cheaper honey that can probably go off the shelves a lot faster, a lot quicker, and you could sell them at supermarkets and stuff like that? Why not?
I mean, I had the same question with a lot of friends. They would like go get U.S. honey from the farm, organic honey, and you'd be able to sell it very fast and quick. And I was like, I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, I could do that, and I could make crazy money. But like I said, again, going back to the beginning is, alhamdulillah, everything I try to involve myself into, I look for the longer vision or the mission, you know. And like I said, I was born in Yemen, raised there. I lived, I'm not saying the entire war, but I lived the beginning of the war, the conflict. So I'm able to do other things. If I want to make the money, I will do something different beside the honey, just for the quick money or the quick. But the honey was just like I said, it's just part of me, you know. It means so much to me that even people like, oh, why are you doing it so fancy packaging? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing? I'm like, because that's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? I want to give it the right respect. Once I give it, people will start respecting it more. You know what I mean? So I really didn't care much about, of course, the making money. That's something everybody wants. You know what I mean? And every business you get into is just for you to have a better life, for you and your family. But it's just feeling proud when you see somebody looking at it, because I had a lot of clients, non-Arab or not. When they see it, they think either it's a watch or a perfume, and they say, oh my God. And they start reading more and questioning, and they realize, oh yeah, man. And that's the beauty of doing it. It's just like getting to let people learn about your beautiful country, because everything that in the media is, yeah, it's hunger, it's famine, it's war, everything. But you guys forget everything that is beautiful. We have so much to offer. Our people, you know. Well, if you look at it from the perspective of religion, the Prophet was mentioned, خير يعني خير الناس أهل اليمن. So there's so much about us as the Yemenis, and I'm not trying to be, you know, as you know,
nationalist, like your country and everything.
Yeah, but like I'm just giving based on true facts.
Yeah.
What I mean, that there's so much as Yemenis, as Yemen as a whole, to offer. It's just we are in a bad timing. So I think our youth and us, we the ones that should right now bringing up back the light and telling and showing people that what's Yemen all about, and that's the whole thing of us really diving and making it this way, is just to let people know this is a high special type of products. You know, you're not gonna use in everything, but it's a special product to have in your house, in your shelf. So yeah.
For sure. No, I agree with you, man. I agree with you, Osama, and I'm proud of you, man, because you are showing Yemen in the positive light that it should be, and you know, definitely enjoy what you're doing, and I'm proud of what you're doing, man. You and your brother Hamoud, and inshallah continued success to the both of you, inshallah. So I have a question for you. Do you think Hamza, right here to the left of me, can he survive living in Yemen his whole life? Just off of what you see from him and what you've seen so far, do you think Hamza can survive? Got shipped to Yemen when he was 13 years old. That's your story, right? You came here when you were 12, 13, right? Can he survive living in Yemen?
When it caused a problem being me and Hamza?
Yeah, I gotta cause the issue right now, because then I'm gonna ask Hamza himself what his thoughts are as well.
During when I was there or right now?
How about this? Do you think somebody right now, do you think a person, a young individual, young adult, or a young teenage boy or girl that lives in America their whole life, then they decide to go to Yemen, and you know, because the family situation, you never know, whatever may happen, and so do you think that they can survive and become successful in the country of Yemen?
Oh, that's a tough question.
I know. I'm sorry I put you on the spot, man. But we got to give you some tough questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. To be honest, from what I see, is it's gonna be a tough life for them. Whether they're gonna make it successful, I give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe yeah, maybe no, but I don't think it's gonna be easy for them 100%. It's
And why is that?
the life, the lifestyle there. It's here you see the light. It's nothing. The water, the heat, the internet, the phone. These you never question even a minute. You never be a family. Oh, why my phone is off? Oh, why there's no electricity? Oh, why there's no hot water? It's why there's no hot meal on the table. Back home, even if you have a family here, even if you go back home, the struggle of no electricity, the struggle of not having good Wi-Fi, and in today's society is everybody in there attached to their phone, so it's a big factor to every teenager, every adults, and everybody. Like the phone is their best friend. So going back there, you're gonna struggle, and I know guys that went there and they hated it. You know what I mean? They like, I can't. They will do everything to leave it. You know what? And some people they will try to adapt to, and they'll cry for they'll go crazy, but they'll try to adapt and realize, wow. But it's a good thing because when they come back here, they have a better,
View on the country and the life.
and they were like, alhamdulillah, now I'm not going to take life for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think they're going to just have a big challenge in terms of really living it down there, because this is tough, man. Not, if I myself, I go right now, I'm going to have a difficult time too. You know what I mean?
Because you got so used to this lifestyle.
You know what I mean? So it's not just because whether they're born, raised, it's just when you're used to certain things and then you hit you with like nothing. You know what I mean? It's a tough. But you never know. Maybe Hamza will make it.
Let's have Hamza answer the question for himself. Hamza, do you think if you guys shipped over to Yemen right now and you had to live there for the next 10, 15 years, are you surviving, or are you calling every day to get money sent to you so that you could be living good, Hamza?
Honestly, obviously it's gonna be hard at first. Once you get used to it, it'll get a little easier. You'll get used to it, but it's a completely different atmosphere. Like what he said, you don't have all the benefits here like you do in Yemen. You don't have the benefits in Yemen like you do here. So it's a completely different atmosphere. I feel like it'll be a challenge. It'll be really hard. But me personally, I'll push through all the challenges, and I eventually
Big Hams.
I eventually make it easy for myself, and I'll find my way. I'll work. I'll live. Just do me.
No, Hamza's a survivor, mashallah. He's the type of person that I can see him, obviously it won't be easy for anybody. Like you were saying, Osama, great points. Once you're so used to something, you adapted so much to a different lifestyle that it's hard to shift back to a lifestyle, a different one. But Hamza's definitely a survivor. He definitely knows how to get his way around town and make things happen. So shout out to Big Hams. We appreciate you guys. Very informative. I got to know about Sidr Honey. Proud of your work, Osama. That is Muhammad Al-Ulkri.
Thank you.
Did I say it right? I probably didn't say that right.
Thank
All right. Well, shout out to Muhammad though. I got his first name right. I can tell you that. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and run our third ad. By the way, Ramsey, we're gonna give a shout out to the Balkan House restaurant. We appreciate Balkan House and all that they do. A place where Hamza works at, by the way. So shout out to Hamza and the Balkan House, Juma and Hassan. We're gonna give them their shout out, and then we are going to continue on with the questions game. We have a little bit of fun of Hamza versus Osama, one-on-one battle today. So one-on-one battle. So go ahead, Ramsey.
You know what, Yusuf, man? I'm in the mood for some Balkan food.
Yeah, man, me too.
Well, there's no better place to go for Balkan than the Balkan House restaurant. The Balkan House restaurant is famous for their doner kebab sandwiches. But did you know that the Balkan House now serves breakfast? Did you also know that all their food is 100% halal? There are currently 2 Balkan House locations, one in Hamtramck and one in Ferndale. But they now also have 2 food trucks, so you can book your next party or event with the Balkan House on wheels. If you're looking for a nice place to eat with friendly service and great prices, look no further than the Balkan House restaurant.
Shout out to the Balkan House restaurant. Like I said, shout out to Juma, shout out to Hassan. We appreciate you.
وبتوفقين إن شاء الله, said Samar. Shout out to Samar. We appreciate you, Samar, as well, for the comment as well. All right. So, with that said, so this is what we're about to do now. It's called the questions game. This is where I ask the panel. So usually we have the Movement Podcast. You got Yusuf, my brother, who's taking a class. Ali is doing some baseball stuff. Zach is coming out of work. So now you got myself, you got Hamza, and of course you got Ramsey in the back. We appreciate Ramsey and all that he does. So everybody was busy today. That's why you only have 3 of us, and the guest is, of course, Sam is here. So, typically we have a game of 2-on-2. That's what it usually is, 2-on-2, where they have a buzzer. I ask a question. Whichever team hits the buzzer first and answers it correctly gets a point. So if you hit a buzzer, you get the point. All right. So with that said, you got to make sure you answer it correctly, though. Okay. So whoever hits it first gets to answer the question. If you answer it wrong, you get a minus point. Come on. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. This is like going back to school right now. Okay. You get minus points and plus points. Okay. So here we go. Questions game number 1. What is the Arabic word for honey?
Asa.
Asa, go ahead and give him a round of applause. Look at Hamza taking the lead.
I'm the real honey keeper.
Oh, man. Here we go. Hamza might start off his own honey company after this show, man. All right. Number 2. Give me one benefit to consuming honey. Hit it harder. There you go. And by the way, this is not from Sidr Bees, right? This is from Osama.
Osama. It helps you with digesting immune system and keep it strong.
There you go. Go ahead and give that a round of applause. We got a 1-1 tie coming down to the last question. I like it when it's 1-1 and this is the last question because then, it gets intense a little bit. All right. So here we go. 1-1 tie. Osama versus Hamza. Sidr Bees versus nothing. All right. Here we go. Number 3. Where's the best place to buy your honey from?
Oh yeah, I think you got it.
Who got it? You got it?
Sidr Bees.
Sidr Bees all day. Clap it up for my man Osama. Appreciate you, man. There you go. 2-1. Nice W for Osama. That is the obvious answer for sure. Okay. Khalid Hussein says, Salam. How's everybody doing today? We're doing well, Cal. I don't know if you're just tuning in, but of course, you guys will all be able to rewatch this episode. I'm going to quickly just mention it again. You got YouTube, Oz Media. You got Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under Oz Media. You can listen to the show if you don't want to watch it on Apple and Spotify podcasts under Oz Media. Just want to throw that out there. Be sure to follow us and subscribe to all of our pages. Shout out to Sidr Bees and all of our other companies that sponsor us as well. We'll dive into that later. But, this is the time for that motivational quote, if you have one. We call it weekend motivation. Any advice you want to give to people out there, that are watching, like I said, we call it weekend motivation, but basically, people want to know, what is, give them some advice about life and whatever it may be that you want to give. And, we call this, again, weekend motivation. Ramsey, can you make sure that the camera is on him, by the way? I want to make sure it's on him when he says this answer.
I mean, what I can say, it's, I will say learn money management and money literature, because I think that's a big problem we facing as our generation, because we have zero knowledge about money. And I'm the first guy, to say that I'm bad with money management. And I think in today's society, I think we need to be able to know it very well, because if you see what happens around the world, since COVID to today, it's a big shift in our life, So just, focus and focus whatever you want to do, and take it step by step, you know what I mean? You can't just think you're going to make it quick, and enjoy every step toward your goal, because a lot of people are so obsessed with I want to become this, I want to reach this, and they never enjoy the journey. So I think enjoying the journey will make you feel satisfied in the end, because I know from friends that will be like, oh man, I wanted to do this and I did it, and now I don't feel good about it, just because they go so obsessed, just let me get to what I want to go, never enjoyed every the journey. They're like, man, it's what's now, you know what I mean? So I think you just enjoy everything you do in life, whether it's schooling, work, whatever sport, just enjoy the moments, enjoy the journey, and have fun. You know, at the end of the day, we live once. Nothing is worth you know, feeling upset or say, you know, as long as you're healthy, your family's healthy, just do what makes you happy, you know, at the end of the day, and just don't, like I said, be obsessed with getting to where you want. Just enjoy the steps. You're gonna fail once, twice, and it's fine. But eventually, if your mind's straight, you'll make it there. You know what I mean? And that's what I believe. You know, you know, بعد العسر يسرا. You know what I mean? So the struggle is gonna come easy, and that's the beauty of life. You know what I mean? So that's, yeah.
I love that, man. Definitely deserves a round of applause. I love how you said money management, because when you talk to the younger generation, oh, I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna make money.
Yeah.
Great. Can you manage your money? How many times do these young generations, they get money, they buy the most expensive car, you know, they get the flashy clothes. Cool, right?
Yeah.
Once you let go of that money, that product that you bought, no matter what, like they say, as soon as you take the car out of the lot, it loses value.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, manage your money, be smart about your money. Don't worry about just making money. Worry about investing money and building from the money that you made, you know? Don't just make money just to spend it. And I'm not saying be like, you know, uptight about your money. No, you know, like you said, live your life. You know, nothing should be that serious. But I think money management, it's a class that I think every person should take. Even adults, they have problem with it. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest with you. Like, adults, unless they get a reality check, they get smacked in the face with something serious, that's when they finally learn. Or else, you know, people are bad, and they wonder why they got nothing saved up.
Correct.
Because they ain't, you know, bad money management, you know? So definitely appreciate you sharing that.
I mean, and one thing why I said money management is because, you know, in our deen, المؤمن القوي خير وأحب الله من المؤمن الضعيف, you know, because some people, they were like, oh, money is not everything. And to me, I'm sorry, that's a lie. You know what I mean? With money, you could do so much. You could take care of your family, you could take care of others. You could do so much to make a difference. So having money, and if you look into history and deen, I'm sorry, maybe you have another question. But
No.
like, all of them, the Sahaba and the Tabi'een, they were rich, you know, because when you get the fund, you could do whatever you want. You could make a difference. So, like I said, money management, I'm like I said, I'm very bad with money management. Like you said, even people like, I tell people, if you have $100,000 right now, what are you going to do? And like you said, I'm going to go buy a car. I'm going to go, all right, and then what? You know what I mean? How can you flip? And you guys are sport guys, so you've seen a lot of NBA players. They will make the money, $100 million, and then they become
Bankrupt, yeah.
You know what? It's just because they don't have the money management.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. You know, like you said, our youth today, you be like, oh, I want to do my own business. I want to be the boss. All right, you gotta first work, beat up with working with others to understand and start learning about how to manage money and how to, like you said, invest in the right place, because not everything you invest into it's something that will generate you know, stream of income. So yeah.
Inshallah, man. And thank you, Osama, for coming on the show. How can people order from Sidr Bees? Let us know. Can you let the audience know?
Yeah.
How can people get anything from Sidr Bees?
They can just check our website, www.sidrbees.com. If they local in Michigan, they just can reach out us through Instagram or our business phone number, and we'll deliver it to them.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And you guys deliver all across the United States of America?
Correct, yes.
Are you guys outside of the country yet, or are y'all still working in the country?
We're working in the country, but inshallah in a few months, hopefully we'll be able, you know, or next year we'll be able to do it internationally, so all over the world, inshallah.
Inshallah. One more round of applause for my man Osama right here. Came on the show, kind of gave you guys the whole, you know, the honey industry, especially coming out of the country of Yemen. Hamza T, can you give us any final words and final comments?
As a non-honey liker, do you think I'd like Sidr Bees honey?
Oh yeah. I'ma bring you in, inshallah. We'll do a honey tasting. And
All right, inshallah.
You said you're actually going to love it, Hamza. You're going to love it. We appreciate him. Like I said, Osama, he's a person that, you know, you can tell genuine, very genuine, and that's why I feel like you can trust the product. And you know, even with us, like honestly, like when it comes to sponsors, like I always be specific with who I try to have as a sponsor, because I want people that like it makes sense, you know, with what we're trying to do. And you know, when I seen what he does, and then just the support that he always tries to show, I was like, man, you know, and I felt like it would be a great connection. And so we appreciate you, Osama, for all that you do.
Same.
And so we, like I said, thank you for everything. I hope for you that are at home that you enjoyed this episode. Muhammad also said very inspiring. Definitely want to try that honey. My wife said actually we do need to actually order some honey. She just reminded me right now too. We wanted to order some honey. We're running low on our honey kebet, you know, inside our house. So we definitely need to re-up. For those that are watching at home, thank you for tuning in, or that are eventually watching. This was season 3, episode 2 of The Movement.
The Movement.
We were officially live here with Osama, one of the owners of Sidr Bees. We hope that you enjoyed the story. Again, shout out to all of our sponsors: Qahwah House, BC Adhesives, Specialty Medical Center, Sidr Bees, the Balkan House Restaurant, Hanley International Academy, and Juice Box. We appreciate their support. Keep tuning in. We'll be back live again next week, Saturday, same time at noon. Hopefully with a little bit more co-hosts on the show as well. But again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Osama. We hope that you enjoy the show. Peace, and we'll see you all